Alright, now let me introduce what I think is probably the first addition you should make to your army. It's a lowly tankette, but I think it has a lot of potential, and there's a couple different options. Now, fortunately, for us, there are two manufacturers, and both have both options. Now, the TKS and the TK3 were both fielded together. The TKS has a slightly different profile than the TK3, okay? But both of them are identical, as far as game terms go. Now, the TKS's some of them were upgunned to a 20mm gun. All of them, other TK3s, and most of the TKS's had the 30 caliber machine gun. Actually, I think it's a 8mm Hotchkiss in there. But now, I went ahead and I bought this model from Warlord because I wanted to have the 20mm cannon, and then I went ahead and tried Recce Historicals TK3 because I wanted a different tank, and the fact is the 10th Cavalry Brigade had both, so why not? So I went ahead and got. They actually have the same. They can also get this with a 20mm, I believe, but I decided to go with TK3 instead of the TKS just to get the looks the way they are. Now you'll notice the paint job's a little different. That's because this is the original paint job I did, and I was okay with it, but something just didn't feel quite right about it. Now the color schemes are I've been playing around trying to find what feels right, and I was having some trouble. I don't know if I like flat brown versus flat earth. This one's flat brown, this one's flat earth as the brown. They're all reflective green, or refractive green. I think maybe Russian uniform might be the right. It's still, I'm trying to find the right color for it. But either way, it looks fine. You're going to have some fading, some things different. I can always touch up the paint later if I feel like it. But the paint doesn't really matter. The color schemes were not patterned consistently. Mostly geometric shapes. So that's why you see basically rectangles and squares and rhomboids and things. They were not rounded in the sense of, splotches. Okay. Now this essentially can be fielded as an individual model within the platoon for 70 points or 90 points, or you could have an entire tank platoon here. Now again, those are the prices or the cost for a regular. I don't see a reason to go with veteran. Of course, you might. That's entirely up to you. It's your collection, your lists. But veteran would be a little more expensive. But this can be fielded as a tank platoon, with one of these two being the command tank. It's actually a half platoon, to be honest with you. So the tank commander and then the two others in the squad. This was not the commander. Okay, so you have to use one of these as the commander if you want to be historically accurate. But that's a possibility. So if you have this is a total of 230 points as a tank platoon added to your infantry platoon before, which was, again, anywhere between 360 and 550, however you did it in that one. But again, if you only add the one tankette slot, you're going to add either 70 or 90 points unless you go veteran. So real simple. It's the next thing to add in. Now, in the next video, we're going to go ahead and talk about the tanks, because in the Polish army lists, theater lists, you're able to take a tankette, an armored car, and a tank. Now, the 10th Cavalry Brigade didn't use armored cars, so we're not going to be taking up that slot, so it's a good thing we have the tankette. Tankette kind of fills the same role as a Recce armored car, so that's one of the things that this has is Recce. The tanks will be the next thing we'll add. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tanks in the next video.